My name is Iman, and this is Mind Body Veda.
Emotional eating. Why do we do it? Why? My personal story was a rough one. I don't even know how I became that woman that you saw in the video, but I'm here, 40 pounds lighter, and it's been wild. Now, I don't know where you are in your journey of overall health and wellness and overall well being, but let me tell you this, it doesn't matter where you are. The most important thing to understand is attaining balance and connection to yourself. And no matter where you are in your journey, there are things that we can do that help us tap back in, help us remember who we are, because I lost myself a little while there. It was a hot minute where Iman went, I don't know, bye-bye. Here are the 7 Ayurvedic practices that I use that helped me transform my health, redefine my relationship with food, and totally heal my emotional eating. Number 1, pranayama. What is pranayama? So pranayama are actually breathing techniques or breathing exercises. Pranayama is the Sanskrit word that means life force and extension. Prana means life force, yama means extension. Now, why the heck are we talking about breathing exercises for emotional eating and weight loss? Well, let me tell you, pranayama, breathing exercises, is so beneficial for balancing out our emotions. Now, if we look at all the reasons you emotionally eat, or I emotionally eat, or anyone else emotionally eats, we can write up maybe 100 reasons. Everyone has a different reason for why they eat, but the root of it all is trying to distract ourselves from the emotion we're feeling in that moment. We want to pacify that feeling. We want to get that fulfillment from somewhere else. And emotional eaters, our pacifier or our choice of drug is food. So when we do breathing exercises, it actually allows more oxygen to flow in our physiology. It signals the brain to calm the nervous system. There's so many different types of pranayama exercises. There's so much more study being done now, which is so refreshing and encouraging. It's very scientifically studied. Now, definitely explore it. I will create a tutorial video for the pranayama that I do because there's so many, but I highly recommend you look into it because it is absolutely powerful. Number 2 is walking in nature. Walking in nature is so important. Ayurveda teaches that we are composed of all the elements in nature: earth, water, air, space, and fire. And the more we connect to nature, the more we connect to ourselves. And we know how beneficial that is for our mind and our emotional state, connecting to yourself. Now, obviously, another important, amazing part of walking is movement. And there's 3 fuels that we use: carbohydrates, fat, and protein. And when you walk, you're actually burning fat and not carbohydrates. So definitely get out there and walk, even if you just start with 30 minutes a day. What helped me so much in the beginning of my journey, I was walking in the park for 45 minutes a day, and I was shedding the fat like this and connecting to myself and nature more. Number 3 is meditation. So there's obviously so many different types of meditation, and if you're already meditating and you found a practice that works for you, that is incredible. Keep doing it. Mindfulness is one thing, but meditation is on a whole deeper level. I personally learned transcendental meditation a couple of years ago, and it was so powerful for me. Transcendental meditation is basically Vedic mantra meditation. It was founded by Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, who designed an incredibly simple technique for everyone and anyone to learn how to transcend. It's all about acquiring that serenity, but even deeper than that, connecting to our inner intelligence and our consciousness. And that's what meditation helps us do. Balancing our emotional state goes hand in hand with meditation. Number 4 is about the food. So let's get into it. Eating 3 meals throughout the day without snacking in between, and most importantly, eating your largest meal at lunchtime. Ayurveda teaches us that there are cycles of nature that we should follow. There are times throughout the day that are optimal for certain behaviors. Eating your largest meal between 12 and 2 p.m. is eating it right in that pitta time. Pitta is made up of fire and water. That's where digestion and metabolism is at its peak. So eating your largest meal during that time is going to do wonders for you. Number 5 is sleeping before 10 p.m. Now, I know this may sound crazy to you, especially in the world we're living in today. And sometimes it's not going to happen. Sometimes you're going to have a late night. It's okay. Don't beat yourself up. But the majority of the time, the reason why you want to plan for sleeping before 10 p.m. is because it is the optimal time for purification and detoxification. A lot of times it's called the liver hour, but sleeping before 10 p.m. absolutely helps you detox, get rid of your toxins, both mentally and physiologically, and it does wonders for your emotional state and weight loss. Number 6 is waking up before 6 a.m. Now, why is this important? A couple of reasons. Number 1, we want to be aligned with nature as much as possible. So we want to be up and ready to be moving when the sun rises. The more aligned with nature that we are, the more aligned we are with ourselves. Number 2 is that Ayurveda again teaches us about the cycles of the day, like I briefly mentioned before with the pitta time. 6 a.m. is kapha time. That is made up of earth and water. So it's a little bit heavier. It's the energy constitution that is more grounded. So you want to balance that heaviness with lightness and movement. And that's why getting up before 6 a.m. is so beneficial for our physiology and our mental state. Number 7, and the final practice, is eating your last meal at least 3 hours before bed. Digestion is so critical for our emotional state and well-being. And our body needs the time to properly digest. Our brain and gut are interconnected, and when we give our body the adequate time for it to do what it needs to do, it knows what it has to do, and it functions optimally, then we give it the respect it deserves, and we feel better and more alive and more vital the next day. That's going to allow us to balance everything else that we talked about. See, the beauty about Ayurveda is that it reminded me to tap back into my inner intelligence. It's all about balance, and it's all about feeling whole. Those practices for me just compounded over time and became the habits that served me for the greater good. The only way to get rid of a bad habit is to replace it with a new one. It's not always going to be an easy journey. There are going to be ups and downs. Trust me, I myself had some rough moments. But the beauty about Ayurveda and these practices is that it just reminds us to get back into balance when we veer off a little bit. Come back a little bit and tap back in. These practices are so different. Some may work for you, some may not. Experiment, have fun with it. It's not about perfection. And also, it's not about a set system. Different things work for different people. I love to share these things, and I love to share what worked for me in hopes that it would add value to you. So there are going to be some times where it's going to be tough to get balance. It's going to be hard to find time to meditate. You're not going to be able to prepare the 3 meals. But it's okay. Don't beat yourself up. It's not about perfection. It's about feeling whole and feeling balanced. Now, if you want to go deeper with me on what Ayurveda exactly is, I am going to do a video on the history and practices of Ayurveda. I will post the link in the description box. That will be released on Monday. Thank you so much for watching. I am so grateful for you being here. If you have questions, please dive into the comment section. And if you haven't subscribed yet and found value in this video, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share this video with someone that you think would find it valuable. Thank you so much. And remember, the knowledge is already inside of you. I'm only here to remind you of it. Stay beautiful, stay whole, and stay connected. See you in the next video.